Wilson.
Great day, everyone. We're here live today with the girl, Erica Wilson, and it had to happen for our Monday night motivation. And I am so honored to sit with my sisters on tonight and Papa Perryman and our children with you all tonight, telling you about both sides of the ball. So I'm going to bring everyone in as quickly as I can, but thank you all for tuning in here with us on tonight. Let's go. We have Sister Sandra Perryman.
Hello.
Sister Melissa Berry. Sister Kelly Davis. I can't see who's at the bottom. Okay, y'all, hold on. I can't see who's at the bottom. Do y'all see? Hold on, y'all. Bear with us. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm new to this. We have somebody literally at the bottom, but I can't bring them on because they're literally at the bottom. Hold on.
I'm so IT special. I don't even
I know. Okay, well, go ahead, Sissy Sand, and address them really quick while I go ahead and figure this.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. We're looking forward to entertaining you tonight with your questions, with our answers. And if there's anything that you need to know or want to know, please do ask in the chat, and we'll be more than happy to answer them. So sit back, relax, and get ready to interact. We do apologize for the little technical difficulties. Just give us a minute. We'll be up and running in a minute.
Here, Kelly, come on in. We're all back in. I think we have Papa Perryman at the bottom. I'm just trying to figure out how to get him in. But thank you all again for tuning in. Papa Perryman, we're coming to you. So, Kelly, if you could tell us a little bit about who you are.
Okay.
Oh, we have Denzel in. I'm sorry. Okay, Kelly, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what it is that you're going to tell us about tonight?
Yeah. So, hello, everybody. I'm excited to be here. I don't have a boy that plays ball, but I am a former NFL cheerleader with the Carolina Panthers. It's been 20 years. I danced and cheered all my life. Loved it. It was a part of my nature, performing, and it was such an honor to be able to do that on such a big scale. And so I was talking to Erica earlier today, and I said, sometimes once you graduate from college stuff and you get into professional stuff, like it is a whole different beast. And in politics play things and stuff like that. But being naive going into it was kind of a good thing. But by my second year, it gets a little tough because sometimes it's not just based on what you're giving or what your effort is going into, because just like we've talked about before, you live by people's applause, you'll die by their rejection. And sometimes, it's the ugly side of things just on a lower level because, this wasn't a full-time job for me. But excited to be here and given any insight with that, just to, open up our eyes to the real world and kind of, this is sometimes the pretty and ugly side of both of it.
All right. So if we can, let's bring on Denzel. Denzel, can you open up really quick and tell us what are you going to bring tonight to both sides of the ball? Can you hear me? Nephew?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, how y'all doing? I'm gonna bring whatever answers y'all need to know. I was getting buying some shoes right now. I honestly lost track of time. but I'm about to leave in like 2 minutes.
All right, so we'll keep you in the backstage until you come back from buying your shoes. How about that?
Oh, I'm about to pay right now. We all right?
He said we all right. Okay, so I see we have Sister Melissa back here again, guys. Please do bear with us because I'm not sure what's happening here, why I can't get all of the beautiful people on here, but let's see what we have going on. I don't know what's going on, y'all. Well, Sissy, go ahead, Sandra, open us up really quick and just talk to the people really quick so I can figure out what's going on.
I'm sorry. Good evening again, everyone. I'm sorry I had my mic on mute. Is there anything that you all want to talk about at this particular moment? Please put it in the chat.
All right, guys, tonight we're here talking about both sides of the ball. I'm going to try to get everybody in this chat. I'm not sure what's going on and why this is happening, but the devil is a liar. We're going to get this thing to going on tonight because we have a great topic for you all. Talking about both sides of the ball. We're very excited to get before you all to actually open up our lives to you all and share our different journeys that we have. So, Kelly, go ahead and take over really quick.
Okay. Yeah, I was learning how to do my chat thing there too. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'm actually pretty curious as to hear the side of the moms and kind of being, have a son myself who doesn't play sports, but I can only imagine what it's like sometimes when they're old enough to be making decisions, and maybe y'all can help me out here to understand. I was kind of on my own doing the cheerleading part of it. But when they decide that they're going to switch teams or I guess draft them somewhere else, and what does that look like, for you guys? Are you close enough to them? Was it a decision that was where they wanted to go? They kind of pushed into the home team where it was closer location to you guys? Just like that aspect of it. Like, how much involved were you in helping them make the decision? If there were teams that they were going back and forth, like, how did you guide them through that decision and what was going to look better for them? And did they involve you in that and all? I guess that's the sort of the things that I'm excited to hear. We didn't have much interaction with the football team, aside from the guest appearances that we made, like when they were doing their pop-ups and autographs and stuff like that. We still didn't travel with them. And so I don't know, those are some things that just kind of always thought of, and now have the opportunity to ask. So, and again, if you guys have any questions, it's been a while since I've been on my boots on the field, but maybe I can help out if you have daughters, granddaughters, or anybody that, or even yourself, that's interested in kind of what that process looks like, entails, and all the goodies that go behind the scenes of being part of the show.
I don't figure this thing out, y'all. God is so good. It was just a click of a button. That's all right. So I'm going to bring everybody in right now. We have Sissy Melissa Berry once again. We have Papa Perryman in the building, y'all. We have Denzel Perryman in the building and Sissy Sand in the building. Do we have everybody in? That's in.
I think we're here.
All right. Papa Perryman, just go ahead. Oh, we have one more, and Sissy Melissa Phillips. Hey, everybody, look. Papa Perryman and Sissy Melissa is driving. So y'all be careful.
Be careful.
Papa Perryman, if you can just go ahead and tell the audience a little bit about you.
I'm the father of Denzel Perryman, the husband of the lovely Sandra Perryman, and a good friend of everybody's here, I guess. And I'm happy to be amongst you guys on the show instead of behind the scenes today.
All right. Y'all can tell we're gonna have a good time here on tonight. Woo. All right, Sissy Melissa Phillips.
I seem to be always on the go. My son had his third child yesterday
Oh,
while he was playing
well,
the game.
congratulations.
So I
Congratulations.
thank you.
Congratulations.
That's number 4 out of 5. I'll have 5 next month.
Nice.
But I just dropped him off at the airport so he can go back to New Orleans, and I'm picking up groceries because I'm on grandma duty till tomorrow when the other baby get out the hospital.
All
Oh
right,
no.
all right. And as we can see, we're going to talk tonight about both sides of the ball. So we do have Kelly that's here with us. Is Kelly is not in the building, y'all? Oh, yes, she is up top. Okay. So we do have Kelly here tonight. She's going to talk about the cheerleading aspects of it. But I do want to open up the floor to something that I sent to both sissies, which is Sissy Sand and Sister Sandra. And I think I said this to Sister Melissa as well. And bro, you're a coach. So we
Mhm.
saw that in St. Louis, one of a parent had actually shot the coach 4 times because his son wasn't getting any playing time. So I want you and Denzel to kind of speak. I want Denzel to speak as a player, and I want you to speak like as a father or coach. You know what I'm saying? So kind of walk us through what your thoughts is about that, because that young man was shot 4 times in front of these kids because his son, I mean, because he shot the guy because the son didn't get any playing time.
Well, I want to say as a parent first. When you want your kid to learn something, I think all learning starts at the home or with that parent. When Denzel started playing ball, we it was a lot of self teaching at home before he hit a football field. But to bring a weapon to any park around any amount of kids is like very unnecessary. And just speaking again from a coach's standpoint, now is that everybody is not on the same skill level at the same time. So unless that guy's at practice every day, seeing what your kid do and what he knows and what he don't know, his thing as a dad now just to go back, go to practice a couple of days, see what your kid knows and what he don't know, and why he's not getting on the field as much as you would like him to be on the field. I coached for almost 30 years and I don't talk to parents on Saturdays, especially if a parent is not there at practice. And I tell that kid, while you're cutting up and you're playing over there on the sideline with little Timmy and them, when your parent come here on Saturday and you're not playing, you're going to go and let your parents know why you're not playing. Because I don't do the speaking with parents on Saturday, and especially if they don't come to your practice. Because if that dad would have come to practice, he'll see that his kid is probably not up to par to play as fast as the rest of the kids, or that his kid is doing a lot of horsing around, and sometimes it's a little disciplinary actions that coaches take among kids. So that's just my thought.
Awesome, awesome. So Denzel, coming from the athlete point of view, hearing what just transpired with this young man, how would you say? Not saying that Papa Perryman would do something like that, but how would you? What would you say if Papa Perryman showed up and acting in the way that this young man did?
Well, as a player, I wouldn't want my parents to act like that, period. Because at the end of the day, I mean, it's probably on the kid why he's not playing it. Like my dad just said, some kids are, not up to par, with the speed of the game, or they're probably not understanding the playbook and none of that good stuff like that. So, I mean, it's a sad situation. I don't know if the kid went home and, probably said, the coach, it's been times to where I guess like being heated and not having uh I guess the proper playing time, or you feel like you should be out there and you're not out there. So I don't know if the kid went home and said something, because that's a little extreme, honestly, for somebody to go kill a coach because they son, like, well, their kid not playing, like, that's a little extreme. But as a player, if I'm not getting enough playing time, I mean, I'm not doing something right, in practice, or I need to get something fixed, and I'd rather get that fixed than go home and complain.
Right. So would you say the kid? it's the kid's job to kind of like explain to the parent, like it's something that I did. But as a kid, sometimes you probably won't do that. But do you think that you probably would have stepped up and told dad, like, well, I was monkeying around at practice, so that's probably why I'm not getting the time.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't think I'd be monkeying around, period, because I know my daddy don't play that to begin with. And two, yeah, I wouldn't go home and just like blame it all on the coach. Like, obviously, I'm not doing something right again. It's that's a tough situation. I'm sorry. Like, I'm really just trying to think about that. Like, what even transpired for all that to even happen. As a player, like, I'm not going home telling my dad like, hey, I'm not playing because of blah 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 blah. Like,
Right.
I would tell him, it's because of this. Like I said, I'll try to figure it out myself.
Absolutely. Well, we do have another parent that's in here, which is Jalen's mom, Brandy Guyton. All right. So, ladies, hearing what coming from a coach's point of view, a father's point of view, and an athlete's point of view, hearing that, we as mothers, we sometimes can get out of line too and want to know why our kids not playing, but I don't think that we will go to that extent. So just tell me, starting with you, Sissy Melissa Berry, how do you feel about hearing something like that?
It really saddens me because it not only affected the coach, but just think about the kids that saw that
Mm-hmm.
and how traumatizing it. And I know it is because as an adult, if I would have saw it, I would have been definitely traumatized.
Right.
So you just think how they can how they're going to process all of that. So right there, they're going to need some type of therapy to get them through this. And like you said, I don't care what happened. You know, that is that's no way to handle the situation. If there was an issue after the game, as Papa Perryman said, he doesn't talk to parents on Saturday. So, a lot of people use that as a babysitting. They drop them off and they leave them.
Yep.
And they come back when it's time for them to pick them up.
Yeah.
So if you're not, you can't take time out of your busy schedule to just sit and watch practice, then your son, I don't think, needs to play. Somebody needs to be there to supervise them, not the coaches.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because there's 20 little JoJo's running around out there, and nobody can watch all of them.
We got all kind of names for them tonight. So true, so true. So come on, Sissy Stan, tell us what's your thoughts.
I agree. I agree with everyone on the panel that have said thus far. It is sad.
Yeah.
That took place in front of 9 and 10-year-olds. And again, if your child is not up to par with everybody else or at the skill level that you expect them to be, then you either need to take time with them and work with them yourself, or either they need to go to the coach and say, Coach, I know I'm not at the level where I need to be. What can I do to get better?
Amen.
Can you put me with somebody that can teach me what I need to do?
Yeah.
But, the gentleman said, because I read the article, I went back and I read the article.
Okay.
And he said that they exchanged words. And then he turned around and walked away, and the guy just shot him in the back. And then when he fell to the ground, he went over and shot him 3 more times.
Oh my
So,
God.
and all of this was done at practice in front of the kids. So he wasn't thinking about the rest of the kids. He just was thinking about doing what he had to do. And then after he did it, he told the coach, I told you I was going to pop your bleep. So it had to be something more than your kid was just not playing.
Yeah.
Something else had to stem from that. But regardless of, the situation, it shouldn't have took place at that part in front of the kids.
Absolutely, absolutely. Papa Perryman, can you take your camera down a little bit because we just see your nose on up. Okay, there you go, there you go. So, Sister Melissa Phillips, tell us your thoughts on it.
Well, unfortunately, it wasn't the same scenario, but like you could even probably Google it because one time during college they talked about it with my son and myself. But we experienced. I was coaching Little League cheerleading, and we were playing a Christian organization, which was a part of the Little League team as well with us, and it was just like something in the community that we did. We supported each other It was called scouting, but it was all in fun and games. The cheerleading coaches from our organization and the football coaches went to watch two other teams from the league playing. Well, the kids are normally run around, the coaches is hanging out. You're not really paying attention because it's a friendly, child-friendly environment. And a spectator, which was a parent of another child, got into it with another parent. The parent left, went and got a gun, came back and shot the guy probably about 3 feet in front of all of us and emptied the entire clip in front of him. It was cheerleaders. The body fell in front of the cheerleaders and everything. So this was something that I witnessed that, unfortunately, where I was born and raised from, my children experienced a lot of drugs and gun activity. So it was something that I didn't remove my children from the league because one incident wasn't going to deter us from the greater picture, although they called for the league to be closed. Far as that parent that did that, like I told you, I was a hands-on mom. Whether I was coaching, volunteering, but once I stepped aside and became just a single mom, if you see me, the coaches knew it was an issue. I'm gonna let you do your spiel, because one thing about me and my kids is we're brutally honest with each other. So if my son was screwing up at practice or then cussed or whatever, he gonna tell me the truth. But it's all on professionalism and maturity, or being a mentor to a young adult that is coming from a single mom family, which wasn't abnormal from the area I was from.
Gotcha.
If you carry yourself as such. Now, if you see me, oh, it's an issue, I'm gonna let you say your say. But like I told you, 6 months prior, I had an issue with me. I
Oh, okay. All righty then. So, Brandy, can you tell us your take on it? Can't hear you.
I'm late to the game, so I'm assuming this is what happened in Dallas.
No, St. Louis.
Oh,
Coach
okay. Well,
was
there was a
shot.
Dallas incident too, so apparently.
Okay, I'm going to go to that one. I know exactly
Okay.
what you're talking about, but we're talking about the one in St. Louis where the parent shot the coach because the kid wasn't getting much playing time.
I mean, I don't know. Luckily, Jalen's dad was involved from Jump Street on anything that he ever did, and he did that. And he made sure that the teams that wanted Jalen to play or that he was a part of, that he was able to be at every practice. He actually coached from the time Jalen was, started flag football to on up. And, I always say, like, I'm so thankful for that, because he wanted to make sure he was, coached properly, taught properly, safety, all the things. My husband didn't play football in college, he played basketball, but, he said, I know enough about sports that I don't want to just throw him out there with anybody that's just going to teach him crazy, So luckily, he was always there. And I just think those kind of situations, like you said, it's far too many times where kids are just dropped off and the parents just, they think it's their free time or whatever. And then, that's an issue, because that's not on the coach to have to corral everybody. They're there to do their job. They're there to coach and teach them the game and teach them how to play and teach them sportsmanship. And, it's unfortunate that we have people in the world that just think that killing somebody, shooting them, bringing a gun is the option. We try to teach kids. I'm a teacher. We try to teach kids, use your words. You can talk to somebody about what you're upset about. And we teach them at 7 years old. I teach second graders, if you are upset, it's okay to wait a while and then talk to the person. So, that I don't know that there's any fix. I think it's a horrific situation that should never happen. And I'm thankful that my husband was always there. And if something like that were to ever have taken place or maybe come up, I would hope that he would have been in a position to A, not be the person that's targeted, and B, get my son away from, try to get him out of harm's way. I mean, I don't know. I think
But see,
it's
you know,
horrific.
That's one of the things about us mothers.
Mm.
You know, we love our children, but all of the kids out there are basically our children too. So
Oh,
we grabbing
absolutely.
as many as we can,
Yeah.
get them out of there. You know,
Absolutely.
but just to hear or to see that happened, thank God he survived.
Yeah.
Thank God he
Mhm.
survived. But the
Wow.
one that didn't survive, that was in, I believe, Dallas, that was just, I mean, and like Sister Melissa said, she saw somebody's body fall right in front of them.
Mm.
You know, I mean, at the mental, y'all, I'm shivering because I'm cold. That's why I got on this big cold. It's big cold. It's cold up here, y'all. But the thing is, just to witness something like that, you know what I'm saying? Like these kids, it may break them and they don't want to come back to practice. Or anytime somebody may yell, they probably think it's going to go in that direction. But Kelly, as a cheerleader, just what is your thoughts on it? You're out there cheering, doing your thing, and then something like this transpires. So what is your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of across the board because, in today's society of participation trophies, and we have to, have some sort of balance between encouraging somebody that's struggling or actually wants to get better, and then rewarding not people trying. And I can't remember if it was Denzel said it, maybe Papa Perry said it. It's like everybody has a different skill set, but everybody also has a different desire. And I think more in cheerleading, I can't really speak so much for the professional level because we're kind of on our own there, but in high school and when you start competing, it's literally like tiaras and toddlers versus UFC. Like these women are ruthless. So you have these women that are fulfilling their unlost dream of continuing cheering through their children. Some of the daughters don't even want to do it, or they don't really enjoy it, but it's just, I can see where people, if you just want your child to experience something for the team, but what you're doing is when you set up a standard for them to not have a desire, then you're really holding back the people that are really serious that want to go through and be at a professional level or really take it seriously. It's frustrating. But we all have a role. We all have something that we can contribute. And I love how Papa Perry said, when he said something about he didn't talk to parents on Saturdays. Boundaries set up a consistent foundation. And what happens more than not is we treat this person's differently or this person's child differently than this one. And then you have no standard. Like I'm going to expect this person to have this skill by the end of it. And while my tumbling and my flying skills and my jumps and acrobatics may be here, somebody else may be here, but that still doesn't mean that they shouldn't have goals. And when you see a child, it breaks my heart because some of these girls are like, we had weigh-ins. I was 102 pounds, told I was fat. I had back fat hanging off my uniform. They would sit you in a room with your uniform on and just scour you from top to bottom because it's the show. By the time you get to the NFL, it's not just about if she can dance and carry a rhythm. It's I'm entertaining now. And that was the mindset I couldn't get crossed over because that kind of took my enjoyment away because I loved to perform. And people would say, oh my gosh, you catch my eye because it's fun for you. And so when that stopped becoming fun, and I'm not saying we can't do hard work, but when it is the consistent foundation of, well, I'm going to pull her from the game. And even though this other girl is not making weight, but I'm going to let her stay. I'm going to let her. And so it's frustrating because I'm one of those ones that are like, I'm going to work harder to be where you need me to be. But when you're rewarding somebody else for the same thing that you're punishing me for, taking away a Sunday for me to be on the field, wouldn't even let me be in the suites, even though we were wearing like our pants and tops or whatever that fully cover. Wouldn't even, I was in the locker room for like 2 or 3 games by myself, couldn't even leave. But I had to stay there because we're there for 12, 14 hours on Sundays. We don't show up for the game. we're there at like 6 o'clock in the morning, hair, makeup, the whole nine, run through her day.
So we're going to get to that, Kelly, because that's something very, very interesting too that you just said. So I want to go ahead and bring in our other person that we have in the back, which is Damian. Why can't I say Damian? Damian Barry. Damian, turn your phone the long way. I can't see. Can you turn the phone the long way? That's it on YouTube. Melissa, YouTube. So we could. There you go.
Oh, yay.
Oh, Brandy, you too. Brandy, try it. All right, Damian, go ahead and address the audience and tell them a little bit about yourself. We was talking about the young man who was shot 4 times, the coach that was shot 4 times by a parent because his son didn't get playing time. So introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what your thoughts is on that. Can't hear you. We can't hear you. Guys, while we're waiting for Damian,
Y'all can hear me?
there you go.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. How y'all doing? Damian Barry, by way of University of Miami, Bell Clay father. Hey, mother. Hey, auntie, how y'all doing? University of Miami, Miami Hurricane through and through, Baltimore Raven through and through, Super Bowl champ. It's always a terrible situation when someone is gunned down, and especially for something that's so minute, and playing time is earned, it's not given. So I mean, I feel like kids these days don't see the real work ethic of how or what it takes to be that special player, or put in the time to be that special player. I think parents need to just understand that it's just not gonna happen overnight. Your kid may have did something in practice that warned him not to get that playing time, or he might have showed coaches that didn't want him to get that playing time that you think your son deserves. Your son can be the best in the world, but don't know the playbook. That can stop him from being in that position.
Wow. So Papa Perryman kind of said the same thing, Damian. He said basically, your child not doing basically what they need to be doing to, not be playing. So Papa Perryman, if you had a parent, say like as we told you, us mothers, we came up to you and we're saying, Papa Perryman, why are you not playing our son? What would be your response to us?
I would tell them to come to practice and watch how your son participates, watch his game flow. I would just tell him to come and watch him in practice, because the thing of a kid not knowing everything or not knowing what he's supposed to do, he can hurt himself or get someone else hurt. So you just can't throw him in the fire when he's not ready for it. Someone else said, the young lady, I think Kelly, she was saying that, you have a lot of people trying to relive their career that they didn't have through their kids. And that's what tends to happen in football a lot. Your dad was probably a little piece of an athlete, and, and you feel like your son should be that same thing, and he's not at this moment. But as a coach, I do believe in, everybody can do something well. So maybe he can't block, but he can catch the ball. Maybe he can't catch, but he can run real fast. So me as a coach and the coaching staff that I like to work with, when the kid is not good at, pretty much this, we're gonna keep those kids to the side and work with them specially. We're going to teach you to block. We're going to teach you to tackle. We're going to try and do all this, because at the end of the season, you should be a lot better than you started. And that's our goal, is to teach, and, with that, you establish your discipline, and, from there you teach. And, but I would tell any parent just to come out and watch your kid. And sometimes when they feel like the kid can go in there and do something, I'll actually put them in right there with the parent watching. And a lot of times it's not pretty. So that's my thing.
That is some good advice right there. Well, a good response to Papa Pyramid, because at the end of the day, it's like you have these parents coming up, and like a lot of us said, sometimes they get dropped off. and they just do not see what their kid is doing while he's in practice. And the one thing that I love you saying is the kid could get hurt if you put him out there too early. So that saying is don't matter where you start, it matter where you finish. That is a great saying for all kids across the board. What do you think, Papa Perryman?
Let me say this too. I have a kid right now. He's on the field, and his parents come every day. So I had a parent 2 weeks ago. Hey man, get up and put your helmet on and get ready to play. The kid said, I don't want to play. He said, well, your mom brought you out here to play. I told my mom I didn't want to play this, and they have me out here anyway. I'd rather be wakeboarding. And that's the type, this is what goes on. The kid is out there, and every day this kid is either trying to fight someone or he's being disruptive in the back of everywhere. But he actually doesn't want to play the game. And the parents, like, you know what? If you want to ride your dirt bike, you want to do this, you're going to come out here and play football. And it's like, you can't make a kid do something like that, especially football, that you don't want to do. I had my kid, I had my youngest guy tell me after his first year playing football, Dad, I don't think I'm gonna play next year. Okay. And I kind of use a little reverse psychology. Football mean no football. I'm not coming to get you to take you to this game. You're not going to be out there every day with me watching football and not playing football. And he used to spend the night with my sister. And my sister kid played football, and they'll have people spending the night. And I say that's going to be good for him because now he don't even have football stories to tell. So by the mid-season, he came to me, say, Dad, I think I'm gonna play next year. I say, you gonna play? You gonna play football? He's like, yeah, I want to play. I say, don't play because you think I want you to play. You got to love this to play the game. He's like, no, Dad, I want to play. This, that, and the other. And he hadn't stopped. He went to school behind football. you know. Uh, and one more thing, as a coach, because I have to run inside of a store. As a coach, I tell my kids, we're gonna use what you got to get what you need. You need education. We're gonna use the athleticism to get you an education. People pay for that for you. So as long as you can be athletically inclined and have some grades, we can get you into somebody's school that somebody pays for. And that's my take on a lot of the kids right now. And they buy into it and they tend to work harder from there.
Oh man, that's good. So Denzel and Damien, hearing what your dad just said, like you may have a kid that don't, well, I mean a teammate, I'm sorry. You may have had a teammate that was out there that didn't want to play, but they're being forced to play. Like what would be your words of encouragement to them?
Go home.
Right. That's it. Nothing else. Just go home.
BP, you got something else to say? He said,
Okay. Denzel says, hold on a second.
Yeah, I had to turn my phone back straight. So yeah, I'm kind of with Damien on that one. I just tell him well, go home. Like I like football, and you ain't gonna like take the fun away from me because you don't want to be here. So yeah, I'm with Damien on that one. Not to be funny or nothing, but yeah. But I can say, a little side story here. I remember my grandma once asked me, like, why you play football? And I was like, my daddy signed me up every day. He signed me up every day. And that blew back on me in a bad way. And, yeah. But we here now. But like all seriously though, yeah, I'm with Damien. I'll probably tell him to go home.
Okay. Okay. All
But
right.
what do you like to do? I probably start asking like, well, what do you like to do? Like, why you out here then?
for real.
Hey, I might have to run in the store. Do I turn this thing off or just leave it running?
You can turn it off and come back in.
All right.
All right. Okay. So, moms, we're gonna switch it up to you guys, to you ladies. So here it is. You may have one of your sisters that's out there, and to see that they're forcing their kids to play. What will be your words to them?
Well, my words would be don't force them to do something that they want to do, that they don't want to do. Maybe God didn't give them the talent to be an athlete. Maybe their talent is somewhere else. So let them pursue what it is that they want to do and then you just support them in whatever that they that they want to do. Everybody's not going to make it to the NFL. Everybody's not going to make it to the NBA. Everybody may not make it to be a professional cheerleader or dancer. So let them go out and do what it is that they want to do, and just support them, whether you like it or not. Right. Just be supportive of the decision that they decide to make.
Absolutely. Sister Melissa, Barry.
I agree with Sissy saying. And I think the thing is, like someone said earlier, that parents are living vicariously through their children. And so because they didn't make it, they want to push their children to do it, whether they tell them, look, hey, I don't want to do this or not. That's, that's their way of fulfilling the dream that they didn't, weren't able to fulfill. And so I would just tell them, look, they don't want to do it. Find something they enjoy doing, not something you enjoy for them to do. It's at the end of the day, it's all about them anyway. One thing about it, as parents, as mothers, we may say, okay, well, we're going to put them in football. So the next season, they may not like football anymore. Okay, at least we tried it.
Right.
Okay, you want to try basketball now? Let's do basketball. You want to try baseball? Let's do baseball. Until they find their niche, not our niche. Until they find their niche, we just have to be supportive. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Melissa Phillips. I'm waiting. She waiting. Come on, then. You can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Why y'all always putting me on the spot? Now y'all know I'm a fool. Now, I was a single mother. Lynn started playing football. His sister was cheering, and I heard the whole half of the year, oh, you're not going to be a good mom. You're not going to miss work. Okay, so now my weekends is available. After a year, I start coaching. You don't get to quit. Because guess what? I done missed all this money. This is a family affair. My daughters done got many ASS whoopings on the cheerleader. Oh, you can cheer better than any girl. And you a captain. Oh, you don't quit. We don't quit. You finna get a whooping. Matter of fact, let's go step behind the bushes. Once my daughter got old enough, she thought she could square up. She got beat up on the field. Now get back out here and cheer, because this is what we do. Yeah. And I bet you she cheered. But I was I'm from Youngstown, Ohio. That was like, football was everything. So yes, I was that bad mom that ain't have time to waste for nothing. You hear me? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And since y'all want me to miss this money, we go all turn this into a family affair. But at the end of the day, I think it taught them discipline. Yeah. It might have been the wrong sort of discipline. And like your friend said last week, I don't know, she ain't your friend. I don't know, whatever she is. I forget her name. Last week, she said,
Christy, we're going to need you to behave tonight, okay? Look, wait, hold on. I got something for you really quick. Well, hold on. Just hold that thought. I got something real good for you right quick, because I'm telling you, 36, 82, she got a flag on the plate, Denzel.
Ain't no flag on the plate. You want me to lie? If you want me to sugarcoat it, I got some lies.
No,
You 6 months out. You 6 months out, Melissa. You got 6 months out. 6 months out.
I told you I used to be getting whoopings. I was always bad.
One of your sister moms out there, and her kid don't want to play. What would be your words to her?
They're like, we need a booth review on that
one. Who you want me to?
We need a booth review on that one.
I'm talking Brandy. What would be your mom that was out there and her kid didn't want to play? What would be your words to her?
I mean, for us in our family, if you started, you're gonna finish it.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Maybe they would pick it up and they would like it a little bit better by the end of the season. But guess what? If it's a battle the whole season and they don't like it, then like somebody else said, you got to support what it is they like. You know, if you're requiring them to do something outside, which I think is important for kids to either, whether it be sports or music or whatever it is, then if it was a struggle the whole season, they need to stick it out. We signed up, we spent the money, you're going to stay the whole time. And then maybe you see what their other interests are, you know. That would be my advice.
Okay, all right. So Kelly, what did you say, Kelly?
Oh no, I agree with Brandy. I mean, you just didn't start something, you didn't finish it. If you didn't like it, you didn't have to do it that next season. But don't whine with me. And I'm all about people exploring. If they don't like basketball, they don't like cheering, or they don't like tumbling, or they don't like this. But just to see kids being forced to do things, I would much rather have a less talented kid that was coachable than to have somebody that could do everything easier and kind of take that for granted, because then it becomes about them. And those are the people that need to be mentoring the guys that are struggling, you know, to pull them up. But at the end of the day, if they don't want to be there, how is that helping anybody?
Jalen, one time in high school, he was really good in track, and he ran he was on the sprint relay, he ran the 200 and the 400. And, you know, my husband's all about buying them the best of the best. Like, it's always the best equipment. You know, he always had them laid out with all the best stuff, right? Well, we show up to a track meet, and Jalen decides he's just going to do what he's going to do and run in the shoes he wants to run in. And he did okay, but his dad told him that day, he said, I don't ever want to see this shit again. Like, I know this is not your favorite thing, but you're good at it, and I supply you with the best of the best to be the best. And I believe in you, and I'm here all the time, you know, and all the things. And he was like, do it again, and I'm not buying another thing. I don't care what sport it is. I don't care what you want to do. He said, you're not going to play me like that. You're going to do your best. You're going to stay out there, and you're going to wear the thing. You know, I'm trying to help you with the things you need. And he said, I'm done. I'm through support. And if you go act like that, then you're not going to have my support anymore. And Jalen says he will never forget that. And he said he was truly felt bad and was embarrassed. Like, why did I think that I was going to be the big guy and do this, you know, and my dad does everything for me, you know? And so it's really stuck with him. And, but he got the message when his dad told him, look, don't play with me. We're not playing like that.
Right.
You're going to give it your all, and then next year we'll talk about whether you do it or not, you know?
If you're going to be there, you might as well. No half.
Right. Right.
Absolutely. So Damien, tell us what it's like to if you, well, I just asked that question, but I want to exit it in a different way. Tell us what it is as a player, right? You guys have this certain routine that you probably do every day, get better or to get stronger, or whatever it may be. So you may have a kid that's under the sound of your voice, right? Can you give them some words of encouragement, what to do? Like, what was your regimen? How did you get better? How did you get stronger?
I just put it in the preference of more so stacking the days. Like, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And if you're getting worse, or if you're not getting better each day, somebody is. So that's whoever's in your position group or your potential position group or wherever you're trying to go. That's all in life. If you're not getting better at something, you're not practicing continuously to get better, the person across from you is always getting better. So, like, if I'm practice, if I'm sorry, that means I could possibly get hurt by this. That's a possibility. Every day I have to practice to get better so I can beat him. For those 2 yards, I got to be prepared for that. Right. So if I'm not stacking my days and getting better each day, I know he in the weight room. If I'm not in the weight room, I'm losing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just stack them days, man. Don't ever take the days off. Don't take these days for granted. Every day that you get breath from your body, just get better.
That's good. So Denzel, we were just asking a question. If you maybe have a kid that's under the sound of your voice, what would you say to them on how to get better, how to get stronger?
Well, how to get better? You gotta do the things, I guess, that's not asked. Like, don't wait for a coach to tell you, hey, you need to go work on this, or don't wait for, for somebody like to tell you, like, you need to go do this. I know for me, like, even now, like, to this day, like, there's something I need to work on. I feel like I need to get better at. Like, I'll just stay after practice and, just take 5 to 10 minutes to work on, whatever it is that I need to work on. And as far as getting stronger, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I used to be the kid, like, how to, get abs in like 20 days, or how to make abs in a week. So I used to do push-ups and crunches like in middle school. I mean, my dad used to tell me, like, you ain't lifting weights till you get to high school, none of that good stuff like that. But when it comes to like getting stronger and stuff like that, you have to eat right, you have to sleep, you have to rest. You got to make sure you're putting the right stuff in your body. So that comes with a lot. It's just more than, working out, because a lot of people work out still be in the same place.
Absolutely. So Papa Perryman, what age would you say is good for a kid to start working out?
Like 15. I didn't allow my kids to like lift weights until I was like 15. Till they were like 15. Cause I started like early. I got like kind of short arms, but I got big, I just felt like that was a reason for it. But and I was always told, you stunt your arm growth when you start lifting weights, too early. So I would say 15 years old. And if your coach have an issue with it, he can call me. So I mean, that was just us. My oldest kid, Denzel, Darius, and they develop well. So I just say about 15 years of age.
Okay, awesome. So Kelly, as a cheerleader, because we're talking about both sides of the ball here. So as a cheerleader, what did you do? Because I know you guys have to be like a certain weight. So tell us, what did you do to get better and ready for the team, basically?
Well, it's different being in the NFL because not everybody wanted to see a 5-foot brunette on the sideline. So we all have our different body statures. We'd all have like the redheads and things like that. But dancing keeps you in shape anyway. Mm-hmm. Running, we didn't lift too much. I enjoy lifting weights. It makes me feel stronger. But it was just a balance. But the thing of it is because the way that they put the expectation on you is like, you've got from Wednesday to Sunday to drop 5 pounds, and they're promoting things that are not feasible and are extremely unhealthy. And I don't know with the football team, but that messes with people's heads because those girls become that number on that scale, and those girls become when they're telling you you've got side fat, you don't look good in the uniform. And I was ready for that because that's what I signed up for. But at the same time, when I know what girls are doing to lose weight and taking laxatives and diuretics and, doing things that were not very healthy, and nobody's batting an eye at it, those are the things that would bother me, because I'm like, this is longevity stuff that is not going to go away. And this is going to be okay. If you want everybody to have rock solid abs and everybody to be in shape and look a certain way in the uniform, then we need to promote that as a team. But like I said, by the time you get to the professional level, it's like the pageant show versus the UFC. It's a battle, but we're pit bulls and lipstick. But they don't care how you get there. Just as long as you look the way they want you to look in that uniform by Sunday, and that was sad. I was raised a gymnast, and we had to take care of our bodies. We had 4-hour-a-day practices when I was 7 years old. So that was discipline. That was something you had to focus on and you had to work on every single day. So I admire people that do that. But when you're rewarding, and that's set up now even younger in the rec leagues with cheerleading, and it's all about the makeup and the body shaming and this and that and the other. And this is why you have people that have body issues, self-esteem issues, and then we wonder why. It's because you got to have coaches like Papa Perry that are they know. He could probably look at a student and go, he's struggling with something, and I'm going to have to pay attention to that because he's performing a different way. But nobody's concerned about that, because it's just at the end of the day, this is what we want our production to look like. And that's just sad. Like, sometimes that's not worth the bottom dollar to me. So
I just want to go ahead and shout out my girl, because my girl was she was fit. So I see how she could make the field. It might cut some of us out, but let's go ahead and see what the Panthers, Miss Kelly Davis, looked like back then, guys. That is Kelly right there.
Oh,
that is Kelly as a cheerleader. Woo! Kelly, would you like to do a cheer for us? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I will pull my ligaments.
So, Papa Perryman, hearing that, and Denzel and Damien, y'all used to have weigh-ins in Little League, right? So I remember it was times I used to see kids out there in garbage bags and going and sitting inside these little, I don't know what they call them, like a bin thing, basically. You see these kids with these garbage bags on and sitting inside these things. And I'm like, oh my God, that is so horrible. So tell us what that was like. Did you guys ever experience that? We're going to go with the players first and then to Coach Papa Perryman. So starting with you, Damien.
I thought it was DP turn to go first.
Okay, whoever want to go first.
All right, so Little League, I always played with the older guys because I was overweight. Well, I ain't gonna say overweight, but I was a big kid for my age, so I always played with the older guys, and I had to lose weight every year. Yeah, so I used to be that kid out there with the trash bag on. I mean, I ain't gonna say the trash bag because we went to Sports Authority at the time, and they had like the little sweat bag, that you can wear. So
I didn't see that then. I didn't see that, nephew. I saw garbage bags. That's what I saw.
Hey, listen, when you got to get it out the mud with a garbage bag. So there's been times to where I had that sweat bag on, and that week, that period of time, I was eating like tuna. So I'm trying to eat like the good stuff, not nothing too heavy. But when you get to the league, you can weigh in overweight if you want to. I don't know how they did it with cheerleading, but with us, it's a nice little write-off. Like, depending on what it is, you'll get fined. Let's just say when I was with the Chargers my rookie year, I think it was like $6.50 per pound that you're over. You're 5 pounds over. For each pound is $6.50 per pound.
Wow.
$6.50.
That's crazy.
$650 for those at home.
Oh man! Before we go to you, Damien, let's bring in my son. Turn your phone a long way.
How y'all doing?
Okay, so we're talking about weighing in in Little League and being overweight. So go ahead, Damien.
Yeah, so I got a similar story with Denzel. I was always the big kid, so I actually had to. My mom wouldn't feed me before the game, before weigh-ins. I was hungry before weigh-ins. So that kind of made me play harder because I knew after the game my uncle was gonna give me some money because I know I was gonna score more than 2 touchdowns. So my mama wouldn't feed me. Then after that, my uncle told my mama just let the boy grow. So I started playing juniors and seniors. I played 1 year juniors, then went up, and the rest of them. And then I did 1 year in seniors. Then I went and played at high school because I was getting too big, man. I was losing weight when it wasn't my forte.
All right. So, Alan, what was that like being out there seeing kids in the garbage bags? Because that's what I saw. Denzel said they had on the sweatsuit, but I mean the sweat thing, but I saw a garbage bag. So what was that like for you? I know that you started off as a big kid. So, but what was that like for you as far as the weigh-ins?
Yeah, I mean, I had 1 year where I had to deal with weigh-ins. It was because the coach messed up. I remember my 75 year. They thought I was overweight, but I guess the coach, he had messed up the scale. So there was a time where they had us in like a sweat box. You got to chew bubble gum right before weigh in. You know, you weigh in with just your boxes on while everybody else have like their pants on. And they got their shirts on, you know. So,
What
so they
was
have
chewing gum for? What is that for, Coach Papa Perryman? What is the chewing gum for?
You don't swallow anything, you spit it
Yeah,
out. Yeah.
spit it out. Yeah.
Ounces matter. Ounces matter.
Okay, so Sissy Melissa, how did you feel seeing that? You know, your son. Well, no, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. How do you felt not feeding your son? I know it had to break your heart not being
Of
able to
course
feed your
not.
son. It did.
Of course not. No, because the thing was, he wasn't a meat eater anyway. So it was just all body fat. And he knew that come weigh in, he was going to be overweight. He already knew it. Every Saturday, he had to be in his boxers. And, you know, we got to the point, we made him run around the neighborhood, you know, to try to lose some of the weight. But the thing was, like he said, he did 1 year. He started out, you know, with the Pee-wees, and he did maybe 2 years there. Once he got to the next level, he did 1 year. Then he did the seniors. They were high schoolers that couldn't make the high school team that he was playing with, and he was only like 14. So then he ended up getting too big for them. So he ended up playing on a high school JV team at 15 years old. We could not take his helmet off. School district of Palm Beach County would have had a field day with us. But he played on the JV team. Nobody knew it was him because he kept his helmet on until he got in the locker room.
Blank man.
Oh my God. So he said,
man.
what was that like for you seeing Denzel in this suit? Well, he had to wear the garbage bag. He had the suit.
I never went to practice. Dad was the coach, so Dad was the parent that was at practice. So I never saw it.
I was responsible for sports and grades because the wife is, oh, if he don't do this, I'm gonna take him up. No, he's out there with me. I handle that. Just let me do what I do. He'll be okay. So, and I was the overweight kid as well. You know, I played for Beach over here, and I remember having to jog from the Omni to Flamingo Park in order to make the weight. And I still didn't make the weight. But, you know, I was close enough so they let me play. But after that, I was just like, you know what, I'll just wait to high school, you know. And but yeah, we used to have kids and sitting in the cars with the heaters on. They got this little cream right now that the boxers use. It's almost like a little grease, and you put that on your skin, and you sweat really hard. You sweat really hard. And back when Denzel was like maybe 105, we had a coach that used to run track, or he used to coach track. So he would run these guys like all over Coconut Grove with that cream on. So they were pretty much good. And you know, I would go and buy. We had about 7 kids overweight, and I would go and buy those kids their lunch for the week. You know, I had to go to the house and tell the parents, like, hey, you know, he's overweight. I bought his lunch for the entire week. Just don't let the family eat it up, you know, and we'll drop this off to like 7 kids' homes. But it was worth it, just to see the kids play. It was worth it.
Oh man.
Erica, can I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
So I guess I can understand the maintaining the weight, you know, but different body compositions, because clearly muscle weighs more than fat. But is it because of the position that you play? Because I know like the linebackers are like really, really huge. Is that kind of the issue? Is that like based on your position?
No, Pop Warner at the time was based on age and weight. So you had to you was a certain age, and you had to weigh a certain amount in order to play for that team. So you know, you 8 years old, you played pretty much with the 85 pounders. You had to be 8 or turn 9 after September or after August, and you had to be 80 pounds. But every week the weight went up 1 pound. So you was given 1 pound, and maybe by the 5th game, you know, you're in the weight class now.
Ours was different. Ours was, of course, they played like with their age, but it was a certain amount. I mean, you had to weigh under a certain amount to be able to carry the ball or to catch the ball. So ours was a little bit different than what he's saying. That's why I was shaking my head yes. And then he was like, he had a whole different answer. I'm like, oh, well, maybe it wasn't that way.
I mean, I can see it because there are some 10-year-olds that are like 200 pounds. And I could understand like where they would have to make a balance, because there are some big kids out there. Like you wouldn't want to put, Andre the Giant with somebody like me.
Well, I tell you what, Kelly, when they go to the league, you look.
Yeah.
You some is little, and then you got these big. Because I remember, and I'm like Sissy said and Sissy Melissa about this, and Sissy Brandy. I'm like, oh my God, my kid is going out there with these big, huge men. You know what I'm saying? So, but let's go back really quick to what Denzel said. How many pounds over, you get fined? How much?
If you even 1 pound over, it's like maybe $550, $600. It might be $700, depending on the team that you're on and what the coach trying to find you.
Alan, what would you say? You ever got fined for that?
Nah, I was always good with weight, but yeah, like Denzel said, like it depends which team it is. Like it could be 600, and on top of that, that's like the first time. If it's somebody that's reoccurring and they keep like missing weight, like the fine goes up. It can get up to 1,000, like 2,000 per pound. Like,
Wow.
it's crazy. Yeah, because especially a lot of things with the NFL, like reoccurring fines, it makes it go up. So say if someone was like late for meetings, it could be like 1,000, but the next time it go to 2,000, and it just
my guy know about that reoccurring stuff.
Yeah, I'm a
that's crazy.
You know what? Denzel, I think it goes back to what we talked about, the 340 days. See, if they ain't give you 340 days, you know what I'm saying? You probably wouldn't have had them with curses, right?
I mean, I got fined for playing football. Like,
no, I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to take it back.
I don't think them ass whooping. Sorry, mama. Them ass whooping weren't gonna help them. Like no other offensive player. I don't care. They could have beat me many times they wanted to. I'm still gonna go out there and hit as hard as I was hitting.
So, Alan, I remember one time you got the fine for your socks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, where do this money go, y'all?
It goes to like some charities. We don't know which charities it's going to, but
it's supposed to
be NFL charity.
Exactly.
Did you say your socks?
Yep. Yeah. Tyreek Hill right now, he's been fined up to $100,000 just because he don't want to wear them.
$100,000 for not wearing socks.
Like up to, like he said, that fine probably went from 7 to maybe 12 to 20. They just keep going up and up and up and up.
Jalen had one time last year, I think, that he tried to the year before last, he tried to skirt the little sock thing. He was like, sometimes you can get around it. Like you go out in pregame and you dress the right way. And then if they check, and then he tried to swing it a different way and they hit him with that fine, like $8,000.
Man, that ain't nothing.
And the agent, it was the first,
that ain't nothing.
It was
no, sometimes.
Right. It was the first offense. So his agent, of course, went and bargained down, and I think they got it down to whatever. But I don't know if he's tried it against since then. But like you said, I guess if it's chump change to you and you don't care, then you just keep doing it. I don't know.
No, it's not chump change to me, but what they hit my kid with is like, dude, just say, hey, Dad, I'm gonna send this home for you because they gonna take it from me. Cause it's crazy the way they doing my dude, man.
Is it like a discipline issue or like a safety issue? I guess
more of a safety issue. When you look at what I'm being fined for, it's a safety issue. No one has been hurt in any of my fines. In some of those fines, and the last fine that I had, I don't know if you was on the show, but yeah, I got fined like $66,666 for a hit that I ain't even make the tackle at that.
That hurt me.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's what me and Sissy said was saying. Me and Sissy said the same thing you said, Melissa. Melissa. We said that's the devil. I mean, that right, six.
Nah, it was 5. It was 5 sixes. They left one out.
But that's okay. The comma,
all the sixes.
66,666 is where it come in at.
You should have told them to take it up or down one.
Yeah, see, they would have put 6 cents, then we'd have had 6 sixes on the board, period. But we only had 5.
And what was your sign for again? I didn't hear.
Well, it was what? I'm trying to remember the rule, the section, and the article, but it was basically I initiated forcible contact by lowering like my helmet. But when you go like there, yeah, oh, damn right, I peeled that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, all right, guys. I want to let you guys know that we here on It Had to Happen. We love like pouring into people. So we had a young lady from 88 Blessings to win the shoe giveaway. Kelly, you know about it from our prayer broadcast, but she wrote an essay on why is education so important. And I know she's tuned in and the time got away from me, but I want to go ahead and I want to just celebrate her really quick on her essay. I shared it with Sissy Sand, but she is our winner and she was super duper excited. Miss Bailey, Princess Bailey. This is our winner, Miss Bailey. She's going too fast, y'all. Let me see, girl. Turn to the side, girl. Yes. Get your book bag behind you. Look, she's like, oh my God, some more. Y'all. Yeah. Thank you. And then read what your box says. On your box, your shoe box. Right here.
Make every day a happy and productive one. Have fun and learn as much as you can.
What do you think, Bailey?
I'm very grateful, first of all. I'm happy. These are beautiful. Oh. Y'all know what I'm wearing Monday.
So shouts out to Mr. Patrick Rose, Denzel, since you're still in the league, and Brandy, you could tell him, Jalen, this guy, he makes the most amazing shoes ever. He designed those shoes for us. He actually donated 2 pairs to us, one for a boy and one for a girl, and we had the honor of blessing Miss Princess Bailey on last night. I'm telling you. So, Alan, is there anything that you would like to say on behalf of 88 Blessings? We can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say thanks for donating that, Patrick, and shouts out, Bailey. You know, that's a great job what you're doing. You know, the essay that you wrote, I haven't got a chance to read it yet, and I'm sure my mom will send it out to me, you know, but, you know, it is great to see, like, the younger generation and how far they are now, because I just know, like, far as just looking at kids nowadays, you know, there's so much advanced than what I was or what we was, and I guess my mom could say the same, my grandparents could say the same, you know, so that's how it's supposed to be, you know, just keep getting better and better, you know, with each generation, you know, so that's something I look forward to, you know, just having kids, you know, and just seeing them being like 100 times better than what I was in every situation, you know, so it's dope to see these kids, you know, just excelling and getting outside their comfort zones and just trying things and doing different things. That says a lot, you know. As far as for me, you know, that always meant so much to me because, like, in life, I always just cared about football, and outside of that, I wasn't trying things, you know. So just to see like kids doing that, and that's something I'm gonna push for my kids. So it means a lot. So keep doing what you're doing, Bailey.
All right. Thank you so much. So, guys, follow Mr. Patrick Rose. He do some amazing work if you want any shoes designed. I even had a pair made for my grandkids, and he did a phenomenal job. He did the Dolphins and the U.
Oh, they love it too.
Yeah, they love it too, and he do a phenomenal job. He just not do, and he's in Dallas though, but he do paintings and drawings. I'm sorry, he do drawings and everything. But he did bless 88 Blessings with those 2 pair of shoes. We put it out there for kids to send in their essay to tell why is education so important to them. And Miss Bailey, she jumped on it, and she jumped on it really quick. She picked them up last night, so shouts out to her. So one question for you, Alan, that Miss Shannon Jaguar Steva asked. She asked, are you retiring? And no, are you coming back?
Oh no, I'm done.
Will you? Huh?
I'm done. What you mean coming back? The NFL?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm done. I'm done. I'm so far done. it ain't
Don't even
no
flip them
chance.
over.
I'm so far done. Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, I played and I had fun with the league, but as of right now, I'm on to like being heavily involved with my kids, and I had a lot of injuries, so I think that what made me walk away from the game a lot easier, just having a lot of injuries and, my body didn't feel the same, so I'm at peace with it. It's never a time. I know people always ask me, like, how are you out of like that you're not playing? Far as for me, it's never been a time where I was like, damn, I wish I was still playing, but I do enjoy it from a different perspective, just watching it as a fan, but 100% I'm done.
And her second question was, are you coming back to retire as a Jaguar?
I mean, I'm just retired, of course. A lot of people want me to do that. I know my mom will love if I do that, but as far as for me, anybody that knows me, I really don't like care about attention, so I just rather like retire and just get out of the way. You see, I ain't post nothing about it, I ain't making no interviews or anything. That's just how I am. So it's all love at Jacksonville, and I have my best moments there, but as far as me, I don't want to get into the whole going back, doing interviews and things like that. I'm sorry.
No, you don't be sorry. You're just telling the truth. So we talked to Denzel on last week, and Denzel was saying how quiet you was. So Denzel, tell us what that was like playing with your cousin at the U. Well, not just at the U, because I'm telling you, Alan, I remember when y'all used to play with Denzel and them, I used to be on the sideline like, Lord, please keep Denzel away from my son. Do not let him go nowhere near my son.
I was staying away.
Yeah, and you guys remember when Allen went down in Jayville, Denzel was the player to stay on the field with him.
Yes, he sure was. He sure did. He sure did. So Denzel, what was that like at the U? Y'all both tell us what that was like with each other, meeting each other, and then just kind of like chopping up with each other, and then moving on to the professional level. Stayed out Denzel way. I know I was praying for him to stay out your way. Not you to stay out his way, but him to stay out your way. So y'all tell us what that's like. Starting with you, Denzel.
I mean, when we met, I mean, I feel like we clicked, instantly. We probably didn't like, go out. Well, I don't know. I ain't go out like as much, but I mean, when we talked, it was always genuine. Like I said, I mean, he was quiet, but he was quiet, but not quiet, if that makes sense. Like, he wasn't, I'm saying, like the guy he wasn't me. Like, I mean, cracking jokes and doing all that good stuff like that. But man, he was one of the leaders on the team. Like when he spoke, everybody listened. I mean, obviously he didn't like say that much, but when he was one of those guys, like when he speak, everybody like shut up and listen. And as far as like playing against him, I mean, we family. So I mean, my dad always told me, give me 2 seconds.
Okay, Alice. So tell us what that was like with you with Denzel at the U. We're gonna start with the U first.
Oh, hey, he said he wasn't ready.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
It was my dogs. My dogs. I was like, I ain't want to, whatever. I had to cut them off. But like playing against them, like we're his family. And my dad always said, you don't got no friends or family.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, I wasn't hitting him if I was hitting somebody else in the Jaguars jersey. If that makes sense.
Okay, Papa Perryman, don't you be telling him that when it come to my baby, Papa Perryman.
No, but that's the rule of the family. If your mama got on the other jersey, she on the other team. That's what they learn early on. When you step inside that park, that
for sure.
Ain't no friends, family, or none of that stuff out here, man. It gets serious.
It gets personal.
So, Alan, tell us what
Yeah.
that was like for you and him at the U, and then moving up to the pro level.
It was like an instant connection. I think anytime you get like two guys that's from Miami and like they go to the U, it's always like an instant connection. So once he first came in, of course, I always heard a lot of good things about him. Just seeing his personality from day one. BP, he one of those guys that any room he walk in, like he's gonna stand out. He's gonna brighten people's day. And I think he did that for everyone. And he's a key guy. Even coming in as a freshman, just having that energy. It's gonna be times in like camp where your body not feeling the best or whatever the case may be, or some people could be down. But like DP, he's always that guy that's gonna be joking around, have that positive energy. When you step out on that field, he'll give you everything he got. So as a freshman, he was like a leader in that aspect. As far as like playing with him, like in practice, I always just try to stay my distance or whatever. And playing against him in the league, like he said, like it's just a business. As far as I try to stay my distance away from him. Of course, if he hit me hard, like I wouldn't even take it personal because like I understand like this is the business of the game. Like that's what it is. It's different if somebody's like hitting you dirty or anything in that aspect. But I already knew that it's always been love with me and DP. And I don't think he'd do anything dirty, same vice versa. So even if he did like hit me, I'm like, all right, say less. It's just something that we just gonna go at.
So last show, Denzel talked about him being basically the class clown. And so we can see that what you're saying, what he brought to the U to be true, because somebody had, I'm gonna let Sissy Sand tell you what 340 mean, Alan. 340, that's gonna be 340-25. So Sissy Sand, what does that mean?
340 means that's how many times he got beat during the school year for cutting up in school for being a class clown. The 24 days was during the summer because he wasn't in school. So he was good to go. He couldn't do nothing. Couldn't cut up. But it wasn't 340 days. He exaggerating.
So we have one other question.
Latrice,
shouts out Latrice. We love Latrice. Latrice really took care of our kids at the U. She says Clemson or UM Saturday, Denzel and Allen.
Ain't never going against the U.
UM.
And I don't believe she asked that question.
Right.
I mean, obviously, I'm always rooting for the U, but these last 2 weeks, yeah, Alan, you can answer that one. I don't know. These last 2 weeks, I just like, I don't know what they're gonna do this weekend.
And Alan was out there at that game, Sissy Melissa. He was at the same game you was at.
No, he wasn't, and I didn't see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't see you either.
I was up in the box. You on the field.
No, I wasn't on the field. I had went into the players' lounge, but it wasn't no seat, so we went into like the section like right below.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So okay. What you say, Clemson or UM?
Into the process.
Me?
No, UM.
UM with a whole lot of prayers.
Oh my goodness. So okay, we're right here at 7:27. We're gonna kind of wrap this up because y'all know we could go on and on. We was on last time 2 hours, right? So Brandy, as you can see, we have a whole bunch of University of Miami family over here.
I know who's still in Miami. That's my favorite city. Like I need to be in Miami.
Oh,
who's there?
I'm close from your prom.
Yeah,
the Perrymans are here. The Perrymans are here.
Okay, well, I'm coming. So if you need a house guest, I'm a lot of fun, I promise.
Oh my God.
You good now, Brandy, because we know who we rolling with.
Okay, all right. I'll try not to get you in trouble. Are you saying you good? I can't come?
Wait.
Are you saying
hold
I
on.
can't come?
We don't want to get, hold on. Flag on the play, flag on the. So Brandy, we're not messing with you because we're not getting 8632. Okay?
Come on.
What do you know about the 8632?
We don't have to go to a football game. I like to come to Miami and have fun. I'm a good time, I promise you.
Look, I know that Southern accent when it's the way you drag out try. I'm not going to try to get you in trouble. By try, you mean
no, I don't get in trouble. I promise you, I don't get in trouble. I'm a good time. I've never been to jail. I don't get in trouble. Oh I know how to get out of trouble. Let's just put it that way.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. I never got in trouble neither, but I did. 340. Remember that number, 340.
340. Oh my gosh.
That poor thing. Jalen was probably right up there with you because he's bad as hell too. He was bad. Bad.
So Alan, before we leave the show, one is asking, why is it that what is so great? Hold on. What is so great? Not so great. What are they trying to say? What is they're basically asking, like, why is it that you don't want to return to the field and fatherhood is so much better? Like, most important. Yeah, exactly. But I got to ask the question.
So why I don't want to return to the field, number of reasons, sure my body don't feel the same. Not that my body's hurting, but far as like I ain't as fast as I used to be. I can't get in and out of cuts as I used to be. Like my ankle, it's not. It doesn't hurt me all the time, but it's not the same. So far as for me, I wanted to walk away with the game where like I'm still able to like be up and move and not like let it take too much of a toll on me. So that's one of the main reasons. And the next reason is because I had kids. I think like for me, that was a game changer. I think I did it perfect as far as like the timing of it. Because I was at the back end of my career. But then having kids, it's so important to me. Because I've had both parents in my life. But I never stayed with my dad. So like with the kids, it's so important to me to like be involved and like be hands on. Not saying my dad wasn't, because like at first my dad was locked up for like the first 6 years of my life, so it was like a disconnect, but since he's been out, he stayed straight, our relationship grew, but it's just something that I always felt like I wish I had that like in-house, so now that I have kids, it just made me look at a lot of things from a different perspective, just everything I do in life is just like intentional, what is like me taking care of my body, me dealing with like some of my flaws, me dealing with like some trauma that I had in the past, it's just taking those things heads on and, just addressing it because you don't want it to rub off on your kids, so I feel like that gave me like a bigger purpose, of course, like playing football, it was a transition, the biggest transition, for me, I can say is like just not having that structure, I'm used to like, wake up, you got to schedule, you got to do this, you got to do that, so now, well, when I first retired, it was like a big transition, like, oh, okay, like, I don't know what to do with all this free time, but having kids, having them on the schedule and also implementing things that like I can do to like make me a better person in all aspects, like incorporate reading and incorporate like eating healthier, it just still work out, not just more so in football shape, but just get my heart rate up. And it's just things in different aspects. It just made you think about like once you have kids. Because before I was just like, oh, I'm playing ball. Like I'm just doing whatever I want to do. But when you have kids, you really like think things out. I don't know if that answers your question. But
the injury. I'm glad you spoke about that's what they were saying after that
injury.
Oh,
the injury?
Mm-hmm. They were saying
my ankle injury?
The reason why, the ankle injury. But you played the year after that. So
yeah, so I played the year after that, but like towards the back end of that year, like I was so sore. Like it was times where I wasn't practicing because like my ankle was so sore. Especially like I remember for sure we played in New York, like on turf, 2 weeks back to back. After that, like my ankle was like pretty much shot. Like I made it through, of course, because like I could push through things, but my ankle was like literally hurting. So that at the end of that, it was just like, all right, like it's becoming like a phase where like my body don't feel the same. That's just one of those things where like I just had to be honest with myself and also like just weigh the pros and cons. You know, for me, I did it, and like I'm happy with it.
So Denzel, like, what would be your intake on it as far as like your body? You understand what I'm saying? Like the beating of the body, and then I'm gonna go to Papa Perryman too. Like the beating of the body. What do you do to get your body back right? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe because you and Alan suffer a couple of injuries, but what do y'all did to get the body back right? Can you talk to a kid or a parent to tell them maybe nutrition, whatever it is to get them back right?
Yeah. I can say, and Alec can probably, say the same thing. I feel like first and foremost, you got to get your mind right first. Like
Right, right.
if
First
your
thing
mental
first.
right, if your mind ain't right, the recovery not gonna be right. A lot of things, like it's what we always say. It sounds cliche, but like the mind is a powerful tool for real. So, like I know for me, when I did get hurt, like I had my moments probably, after surgeries, like the 1 or 2 days after surgery. But I was like, all right, well, how I'm gonna attack, the recovery. I can sit here, probably drink my sorrows away, but that's just gonna prolong everything. Um, I know for me, it's just like my mental. So I just had to get my mind right, and I was just attacking rehab or recovery just differently. And you kind of look back at things like, okay, like what was I doing around the time I got hurt? Was I not sleeping? Was I going out? What like I was putting in my body. So you kind of reanalyze, I guess everything that happened, but at the end of the day, injuries, like they're gonna happen. Like it's just it's just in the sport, so it's gonna happen. But I would say mainly, like if I'm talking to a young person, like a lot of people feel like just life over with. They get injured, all that good stuff like that. Allen's been hurt. He was able to come back and play. I've been hurt. I don't know how many times, and I'm still playing. God willing, and I just feel like it's more on the mental, like the mental aspect of it, and returning and coming back from that injury. But like I said, also you got to do the physical things as in therapy. You might not like your progress. It might be a long progress, but like you have to go through it. And you have to trust the process. So I would say get your mind right and trust the process.
Absolutely. As a coach, Papa Perryman.
Um, I just think time, and like my kid just said, you have to be mentally ready or strong to. If you're trying to bounce back, you have to be willing to bounce back. Um, I always wanted my kids to play football until Denzel, actually went to the league. And, because my kid played ball for a long time and didn't have any injuries until he really got to the league. And, and then it was like, damn, there was another one. It's another one. But like I tell everybody, the human body is not built for collision, like play after play after play after play. Now, if you want to question someone, you question the guys that's not getting hurt out there, that's not giving it all. That's what I would question, because what the hell they're taking that they are not getting hurt and they're playing the same amount of time and everything like that. Just, it's run into your door 3 times and see if you want to do it a fourth or a fifth time. The
Exactly.
body is just not built for that. It's not built for that. So, again, just the injuries, and it's a contact sport. It's a collision sport. So, you have to get your body right. You have to eat a certain way, but not nonetheless, the body is just not built for that. So you're gonna have injuries, but to come back, you have to be strong minded and willing to come back if that's what you feel like doing. And I'm, listening to Alan, I'm like, and I've told my kid, man, I remember when the lottery was a 1.5 billion. I said, you know what, dude, you guys are old, but I'm gonna hit this lottery and I'm gonna come and I'm gonna spoil all of you. So my kid told me, like, Dad, what, I really appreciate that, but I think I'm gonna still want to play football. And I say, okay, because I know you love the game like that. But that's just the way that life is. So,
Yeah. 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 So, Sissy,
coming up,
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
excuse my language, in order to play this game at a high level, and I've been saying this for over 30 years, you got to eat, sleep, dream shit football. And these guys did it. That's they're part of that 1% that made it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, Sissy Melissa, we're hearing them talk about the injury. So, we're coming from mothers now. Here we go. We see our kids out there hurt. Sissy said, and now we elaborated on last week, and I think you did too, about us trying to get out there on that field. you know, so now that we heard what they said, what is it? What was it like for you? We're going to speak on one injury, each one of us. So, what was it like for you to see Damien get hurt?
Okay, the one injury I would speak on, because I wasn't there to see I would say the one in NFL when he played the preseason game, when he had the concussion and the neck injury. That was really hard. That was like, me as a parent, that was my determining factor. I don't know. Thank God he listened somewhat to my counsel, as far as like Alan said, family is so important to us, and he had daughters, so I expressed to him that it was more important for you to just walk away now that you can, that you're healthy enough to walk away, as opposed to, you once you get healthy again, you go back and could sustain another injury, and you might not be so blessed to, walk away from it. And so it was just best that, it's time to just let it go, because it was a really, it was a really bad injury. And so, I think him, walking away, I don't think he had any regrets. I know I didn't, because I didn't have to worry about, watching him on the field, and I'm at home and he's laying down on the field and I can't get to him. So it's definitely a peace of mind now.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Sissy said,
I would say for me, again, it was an NFL game when he hurt his shoulder and I was not there. So for me, it was devastating. I think Dad was more calmer than me,
of course.
Always.
but I was panicking.
Always.
Yeah, we talk about always.
I was panicking because I didn't know what was going on. So I had to wait for someone to contact me to let me know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to have surgery. And then I think I got more worried because he had to actually stay overnight in Pittsburgh. So I was nervous because I didn't know exactly what was going on. But I flew out after he got back to Vegas, and I was there with him when he had the surgery done. So now we have a thing where if you're down there 2 minutes too long, you got to give me a thumbs up. You got to do something, wave your hand in the air, do something so I know you okay.
Right.
So Sissy Melissa and Sissy said, can y'all have my back really quick?
Yeah.
Y'all tried to jump the gates too, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, you see that? I'm like, you too, Brandy, right?
Yeah.
You see? So I'm glad. So what about you, Brandy?
His most serious injury was last year when he tore his ACL, and I happened to be at the game. I think I spoke about that the first time I was on. I just, for whatever reason, I looked at the schedule and I was like, I think I want to go to that game. And I was there. So thankfully I was. And one of the wives, when I was leaving, she knew who I was, and she stopped me because I didn't have anybody's number with the team. They take him off the field. And of course I know Jalen's not going to get to his phone and call or talk to me. I mean, he knew I was there, but I know he's not going to think about that. Luckily it was just a knee. And anyway, I got a phone number and got in touch with like the team trainer, whoever, and they told me that, he was going to be okay, but it's most likely ACL. But anyway, I was glad to be there because that's his first serious injury really ever. And it was his first serious injury in the league. So I was glad to be there. Number one, to be able to drive him home that night. He couldn't even hardly walk on the crutches because he's never even been on crutches. So he was like, I'll be all right. I can drive. I was like, you can't even maneuver in the crutches. How you going to drive home? No, I got you. I'm going to drive you home. So anyway, and I'm sure he would say he was glad I was there too. Just nice to have Mom there and be able to just drive him
Maybe.
home and just talk to him about it, and you know, so just it stinks and it's awful and I hate it. And I hate it for any of these guys that get hurt. It's just you never ever ever want to see that because it's their livelihood. This is what they've worked their whole life to do, and it's their job, and they want to be able to do it until they're ready to walk away. So that's always been my dream for Jalen. Like I want it to end when he's ready for it to end. And a lot of them don't get that, but that's my prayer and that's my hope. But I was glad to be there. So kind of have told him that when he starts back up, I need to be out there.
So Denzel and Alan, I'm going to go to you too, Papa Perryman, and let you answer that as well. Denzel and Alan, what is that like? First of all, when y'all get hurt, y'all basically just worried about, dog, I can't play, right? But then once you get away from the field, do you think about like, do I need to get in contact with mom to let her know that I'm okay? How is that for y'all? Are y'all just worried about just getting back right?
I go first. Yeah, just with the history of like me knowing my mama worrying, like as soon as I get to the locker room, I grab my phone and either I text both my mom and dad in the group, or I just call one of them and just let them know I'm all right. And
Good for you.
Just to ease their mind off and all that good stuff like that. But yeah, I just make sure that they are like I tell them all the time, like I'm fine, like it was this, that, and the other. Like, are you sure? Like, yeah, I'm good, ma. Like, I'll be all right.
Yeah. I mean, same here. There was one situation, in Dallas. When I hurt my ankle, I didn't have my phone. I didn't get my phone until like 2 days later. But I made sure I told the trainers to call my mom because I already know that she's gonna be stressing out, going crazy. So I always make sure, let my mom know I'm okay because I know she's a worrier.
But it was so funny that even though I was worrying the way that I was worrying, and to see what had happened when I got to the hospital, this young man sitting up in the bed watching the game laughing. And I'm like, here it is. I'm freaking out, but you sitting there in the bed laughing, getting ready to go. I didn't know he was going right into surgery, but I'm like, dude, but just to see that how strong Denzel and you are, Alan, your mental is there. And that comes from some praying mamas. Not saying dads don't pray, but that's one thing that we're gonna do on the back end. We're gonna pray for not just y'all, your teammates, everyone. But y'all get some special prayers that go up for y'all. But we pray for the whole team. But it's just good to know that y'all mental is there. That's one of the things that I just thank God for all the time, to see, even though they may be hurt, they're mental, they're good. Even though we as moms, we see them hurt, and y'all don't know what that's like for us to know that we can't do nothing for y'all to make the pain go away. Like, that's hard for us as moms. But come on, Papa Perryman, tell us what it's like for you to see your son go down.
I've seen him go down a few times, and and dads do pray. I pray before the game. I pray, pretty much right before football season. I'm the most prayingest dad, I think, in America, because I'm nervous. Even though they played it all their life, I'm nervous because this is another year, another season. But the man up above, he does a lot of things in mysterious ways. So I just know, a lot of times when he goes down, I'm like, well, I know he's going to be okay. It's nothing that's too serious. He can bounce back from it. And I know that I have to not worry in order for my wife to not worry as much. I don't think it really helps, but if I'm panicking, she's gonna be more panicking. But I think it's with the Chargers. I seen him. He turned around and he tore something in his ankle. And when he's going off the field, he told somebody, I heard it pop. And I'm like, this is going to be some type of, ligaments or something. Something's not going to be good there. But, it was kind of crazy because Denzel went into surgery that night. He was back up. And I think what was it, the 8th game or the 6th game? Like 2 games later, I see him running. I'm like, yo, what they got you running? But he was in this like this new modern day thing that it holds your weight so it don't have you putting a lot of weight on your leg. And I'm like, man, they got you up and running real fast, man. So, we actually went to see him in Jacksonville play. So it was, it's a blessing. But I don't think the worst. I never think the worst. I just always pray and know it's gonna be something that he can come back from.
Yeah, yeah. I think
He's
with us,
answered my
though,
prayers.
I think with us, we just see them go down. And that's just it. How
Yeah.
am I just gonna blink from that point? We're not, we just want to get to them at that point. So I think that's just a mother's thing. So Kelly, you as a cheerleader, you guys sometimes get hurt from tumbling. You know, tell us what that is like. Have you ever experienced that or you?
Oh yeah, when I was in college, I was the flyer. They threw basket tosses over. I would fly over pyramids. I've had many concussions, landed straight on my head. I think for me, like it, do practicing and doing a skill set is one thing. You have to have so much trust in other people, but it reminded me that like I'm not. I'm still capable of being hurt, and I'm still capable of being hurt bad. And it does take a toll on your body. Like my gymnastics injuries didn't show up until I was like older. My shin splints from tumbling when I was 7 barefoot, now they bother me. And so it's to be aware, and those guys being aware and knowing your limits, that is so important, because I wasn't ready to stop cheering. I didn't get to leave on my time, and it was frustrating because I was still able to do it, but it didn't have an opportunity because I had gotten to the top, being a professional cheerleader. And so it kind of was like I had to kind of put my energy into something else. And so that's where the gym and kind of being fit in a different way, you just have to wait. Just like Alan was saying, it's not that you give up that life or the health part of it. It just looks different, and I was able to kind of mentor people, but yeah, I mean, it's injuries are because they are going to last and they are going to show up, especially surgeries, joints and things like that. So I give you guys kudos to go back out there. But the couple times I got knocked out and woke up with people looking at me, you realize like, this is like,
That's not good.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you have to worry about the guys coming on to hit, like, say for instance, maybe Denzel hit somebody and knocked them way to the bleachers? Did you have to get out the way? Look at him. So did you worry about the guys coming over hitting you? Because the cheerleaders are like right there on the sideline.
Oh, you talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Cheerleader.
I almost caught a ball once, but no, we weren't too close to this. We had like media and coaching and like sideline staff and things like way in between the field and us. So.
Okay. And Valencia say, okay, we're wrapping up now. As an athlete, you make peace with injuries because it's kind of inevitable. No matter how minor or major. So true. So true. It's still an injury because you guys love the game, Denzel and Alan. I wish I had some of what you were eating right now, Denzel, but okay. It's just
everything. The same thing I eat every day.
okay. All right. So we're gonna wrap up now. We're gonna just leave the audience with one thing. Alan Shannon has a message for you really quick. She says, as a diehard Jag fans, thank you, Alan, for all you did for our team, Agent 88.
Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate your support always.
All right. And okay, starting with you, Sissy Sand. We're going to go this way. Starting with you, Sissy Sand, if you had a parent or a child that may be under the sound of your voice, just leave them with something, a word of encouragement.
Just support your child in whatever it is that they want to do. Don't pressure them to do something that they really don't want to do. Let them go out and venture to see what it is that they like to do, and just be there to support them. And just know that education is the key to success.
Already know. And Kelly coming she talked about the injuries. Kelly coming from a nurse, y'all. Kelly is a nurse as well. So go ahead, Kelly. You have a son. So just tell us what will be your words of encouragement.
Just really bringing, like, I never tell him like he's got good things and bad things he does. I'm always like, you have good things you do and you have better things you do. And so I always want to encourage him to work on the things that he's not as skilled in, or challenge himself to do that. And it's just really kind of the mindset, how much you want. I don't want to keep pushing him to only do the things he's comfortable with. Just because that's life. I want him to be able to try new things, but it's okay if you're not as good at something as you are something else, because we all contribute to it. And so, and his journey is completely different than mine. He's more musical and history and geography. And so I jumped in and learned with him. That was my, like, encouraging him was, well, if I don't know anything about it, let me see if I can learn. And so it opened up avenues for us to talk, and now I can guide him and support him with what he's wanting to get into now. So
absolutely. Papa Perryman?
Just follow your dreams, never give up, and whatever you decide to do, give it your all.
That's good. Denzel, can you stop eating for a minute, please? It's on you.
This guy.
we need a flag on the plate.
Oh, food in my mouth. Go ahead, Alan.
Hey, that wipe the smile off your face quick, Alan.
You want me to go? I'll go. I mean, the thing I want to leave people with is just understanding, like, delayed gratification. That's just understanding, like, whatever we all want to do in life, like, it's going to take time. It's going to be a process. I think that's the hardest thing, because, like, whatever we do, we want to see results, like, ASAP. Like, whether if somebody start going and working out, they'll work out for a week and then don't see the results, and then they'll stop. It's the same with, like, playing football, playing whatever, being a doctor, whatever. It's a process. And I just say, like, fall in love with the process, just keep putting out good, and good will come, because there's going to be ups and downs in every journey. I know a lot of people always look at, like, football players and think, like, oh, they make a lot of money. But at the end of the day, we've been playing Little League for so long, like, not making anything. And every aspect, whatever career there is, it's so many steps to get there, So just understand delayed gratification and just focus in on the process and keep putting out good, and it's gonna come. I can't tell you when, but it's gonna come.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Now, Champ, are you talking about me because I started walking and stopped?
Nah, I ain't talking about you.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Sissy Melissa.
Okay, I would say, parents, just support your kids in anything. I don't care what it is, education, schooling is paramount. That's the most important thing. Outside of that, because one thing about it, they can't take that away from you.
That's right.
You don't have to compete, with anybody. The only person you have to compete with is yourself to be a better you. Yes. Be intentional about everything you do. Everything. If your child is, an artist, you support them in everything. If they're going to do a show, you be there. You be there for them. That's the most important thing. Kids want to know that they have that support from their parents. Yeah. And it does their hearts well when they can look up there, and see their parents there and know, okay, my mom is right over there. Even if you have to give your little hooty hooty hoot 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 to let them know you're there, they'll know, and they appreciate that. Yeah. That goes a long way. Even when, even in Little League, you may not think it doesn't have an impact, but later on, see how, Alan and Denzel, how they alluded to, different things in Little League, but they knew who was there all the time, regardless, of, if you couldn't, you had to leave work early, but I know my mama gonna be there. I know my dad's gonna be there to support me. If nobody else comes, I got 2 fans if I don't have any more. So parents, just go all out, support them in anything they do, be it in athletics or academics.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. So Denzel, are you ready now?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, like I was doing an infomercial. every day you wake up is a blessing. I mean, I feel like everybody said, you know, as far as like sports and, you know, just life in general, but the way I go up, hey, knock it off. Why when I unmute, y'all start doing this? Relax. Every day you wake up is a blessing. And like like Alan said, you know, the gratitude, I mean, don't take nothing for granted. I mean, it could be worse. I mean, like I don't know, like I just go off. Like every day you wake up is a blessing. You know, some people didn't wake up in the morning. You know,
Right.
make sure you talk to your loved ones, and like I said on the football field, stay hydrated.
Oh, that's good. I'm trying to get you hydrated, nephew, but you ain't called me yet. Alan, I'm trying to get the man hydrated. You ain't even called me yet, Alan.
13 dogs in the house, Auntie. 13.
13.
Yeah, it's not puppies. See, when I say 13, they 13 dogs. Like,
Right. I'm like, what you got going on over there? 13.
hey man, you know somebody want to buy a dog? Come holler at me, man.
Okay, y'all heard it here on It Had to Happen. Denzel have some beautiful puppies. What kind of puppies is it?
They are pit bull merles. They all have blue eyes except one of them.
So, Alan, what do you think about giving Chase one for his birthday? Chase is getting ready to be big 3.
I got enough responsibility.
I'm like Alan, boy. I ain't taking care of nothing else.
Exactly.
Don't give me no plants, boy.
And my words of encouragement would be let's talk with your people, not just kids. Talk with people and not at people. And y'all know this is my favorite thing because my nephew came up with it. I got to do it one more time. Don't get All right. Let's go ahead and do some virtual hugs. Y'all, I love y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for taking time. Y'all gave me 2 hours, 1 minute. I'm going to give y'all 1 minute too. And I thank y'all so much for taking time out to get before the people and just sharing our journeys and telling it is the things that behind the scenes, through the eyes of the NFL moms and dads and players. You saw it here. It had to happen. So outside of the virtual hugs, let's send them some virtual kisses. I know Denzel and Papa Perryman and Alan might not do it, but come on, ladies, let's throw them out some virtual kisses. We love y'all. We can't do it without each and every one of you. And if this broadcast has blessed you, please do share it. We'll be back before you guys, if God's willing, on next Monday. And join Kelly and I and Dr. B for tomorrow for our prayer broadcast. Let me tell you, God, Kelly won't be there tomorrow. So it'd be just
I got a JOB. I got to be at.
I understand. That's okay. We'll hold you down. You know we do. So guys, we love you here. And It Had to Happen, and we can't do it without each and every one of you. If you would like to book with your girl, please do go to my website at www.ericawilsonih2h.com. I love to have you. We're open on Wednesdays and Thursdays. The floor is open for you to tell your it or share your business. It had to happen to you for you to share with someone else. God bless each and every one of you. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, God. Okay.
Erica's empowering empire. 88 blessings soar movement. It had to happen in a beauty so rare. We'd love for you to join us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. It Had to Happen with Erica Wilson. Following our social media.